Hi there, this is Josh from Literary Gladiators, and today I'm here with a book review. But first, I wanted to make mention of two things. You may notice that this is a different angle that I'm filming. That's because I'm bringing in all of my books, including the ones on the bookshelves in my room, into the library. And they're in the way of where I usually sit. So I'm here. Here's my books that I won on Goodreads, and I also brought in a bunch of books, including my horror anthologies and Reader's Digest condensed books that you can see from here. Also, you may have noticed that it's been a few weeks since I filmed anything, and that is because I've been really pummeled reading up and putting together the filming sessions for the 6th season, which will be premiering in September. And I'm going to be talking more about it when we finish, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing right now, and I think that this is going to be an outstanding season. Now on to the book review. The book that I'm going to be reviewing is a book that I won on Goodreads, and that is Every Last Lie by Mary Kubica. And this was an advanced reader's edition. I won this, and they encouraged me to read and review it, and I just finished reading it. My written review's up on Goodreads, and here is the video review, which this has to do with the recently widowed Clara Solberg, whose husband Nick was killed in a car crash while he was driving their daughter Maisie home from ballet practice. She happened to survive. She really, aside from some little bit of dirt, there really was no, she wasn't affected in any way, but Nick was crucially injured, and he eventually died pretty quickly when he got to the hospital. And Clara is grieving. She just had a newborn son, Felix, who was only a few days old at the time, and Maisie is reacting with Maisie's been developing nightmares and a great fear of black vehicles and those that she sees as the bad man. And this leads Clara to believe that it was not an accident, but she felt that it was a murder. And she goes through all of the possible steps to assuring that it was a murder. And it just so happens that the people that she's suspecting are acting relatively suspicious. Just about everyone's telling her that Nick was driving recklessly and he was the one that caused the accident himself. But you also have a lot of people. You have her parents that are not too fond of him. The father's not too fond of him. The mother is ill with dementia. Emily and Theo are people in their neighborhood. Emily's a very outgoing and kind individual, but Theo is abusive toward her, abusive toward people that make him angry, and he's a big shot in how he is changing his cars all the time. But we also get, in addition to Clara's point of view during the present day, we also get the point of view of Nick in the leading up to his accident, which includes Nick telling the story while Clara is pregnant, and how he is a dentist struggling to keep his head over water. He's struggling to make ends meet. He's gotten to the point where he's had to lay off people, including his partner, Connor, who was a good friend of his. And there really isn't much that I can say that is going to really give anything away, because this is an intense thriller, and Mary Kubica does an outstanding job keeping readers at the edge of their seats and thinking about so many possible solutions that you really don't know what's going to happen until it happens, and we find out the end result. While I thought that this did a great job as a thriller per se, it definitely had a major amount of flaws and a major amount of issues. I think that Clara and Nick were perfectly human. They did their best to tend to the kids, but at the same time, they made plenty of mistakes, many of which were unlawful and, in some cases, inconsiderate. I especially feel that Clara was this way. I think that I think Nick was a bit more reckless in his lifestyle, but I think that he was better with the kids, primarily Maisie, because Felix was only a few days old when he was killed in the car crash. But Clara really seems to lose it and give up pretty quickly. And there was a moment in the story that I felt that she did the wrong thing at the wrong time. And I think that that really put a damper to my final opinion of the work. I gave this 3 out of 5 on my Goodreads. I think that it was okay. I feel that it's going to be up to the reader to decide whether or not they want to go on this adventure, because it was quite a thrill, but the way that things ended, I feel that so much was left unsaid, and there were a lot of blank areas that we did not get the assurance of as me, the reader. So this is really, I can't necessarily, I would say that I'm very much teetering on whether or not I would recommend it or not. I think that if I would recommend it, it would definitely be a bargain buy for a very small amount. And that's as far as I would go. Or renting it at the library for something that is a light read. Thank you for tuning into this video, and I want to thank the publishers at HarperCollins for putting this up as a giveaway, and I'm really happy to have won. Thank you for tuning in, and for now, keep reading.